Let's take a look at a little more in-depth explanation of how the magnetic Canon from the Gravitrax marble set works. What we see when we're looking at this in terms of position space is this magnetic bumper right here, where we have a marble coming in here, and we have two identical marbles over here. All three marbles, same mass, same size, same material, etc. And somehow this thing comes in and hits this, and this thing comes out faster than this one came in. And that left me very confused because energy is supposed to be conserved. I can't have more energy come out than I had come in. The answer lies in not looking in position space, but in actual energy space. Because if I draw this in energy space, what I'm going to get is a well. Because this magnet here creates a dip, a minimum in the potential energy for the system. And what I've got here is two marbles just to the left, just to the right of the minimum, right? They're not allowed to fall down all the way because of the wall here, right? So here is the wall right here. I'm not allowed to go past that, right? That's the barrier that I have. So when this marble comes in, actually let's draw it like that. It comes in, say, going this fast. It ends up over here with a certain speed, certain kinetic energy, that immediately gets transferred to this marble because there's a collision. So the wall is there to prevent them from moving, but the wall still nudges just enough to transmit that momentum from this marble to this marble. Well, this marble is next to this marble, so it's going to transfer that same momentum to here, meaning also the same kinetic energy, because everybody's got the same mass. If they have the same momentum, then they have the same velocity and they have the same kinetic energy. And because these things are mostly elastic in terms of the collision, because the collision is largely elastic and the masses are the same, then the momentum, the kinetic energy, essentially transfers forward, right? It could be more complicated than that. If you made one of these a smaller mass or made the other one bigger or whatever, you could end up with this thing bouncing back or this thing coming forward, just depending on how the math worked out. But the simplest case is what you have in a Gravitrax set, where the three marbles are identical, in which case energy is just going to transfer from one to the other. But here's the thing. This thing starts out with this much potential energy and this much kinetic energy, let's say. This thing starts out with more potential energy, or at least farther up in the potential energy well. I know things don't have potential energy. We'll talk about that another time. But if this amount of kinetic energy goes into here, then this thing has more total energy than this one did because it's higher up in the well. And so, of course, when it gets up here, it's going to have a higher velocity. And that took me a few minutes to figure out. But now that I see it in the visual, it makes a whole lot more sense, as opposed to this, that it looks like witchcraft up at the top. Here looks a lot more sensible in energy space.